Hello everyone, my name is Mike and this is Matrix to Paradise. I created this channel to document my journey from the Matrix, which was a truck driving job for me, to living here, retired in Siem Reap, Cambodia, my personal paradise. So anyway, I had a question on one of my videos about the ins and outs of finding an apartment in Siem Reap, Cambodia. And it's just from the start, I'll tell you that it's very easy to find an apartment here. It really is. There's plenty of apartments here for rent, at every different price range. I've heard price ranges from $25 a month all the way up to $1,500 a month. Now, of course, there's a vast difference in what you're going to get at $25 a month and $1,500 a month, obviously. But the bulk of them seem to be within the 250 to 500 range. That's the bulk of them you'll see. However, there's plenty of them in the under that range. Like I've got one for $130 here. There's plenty of them for $100 a month. It just depends on what you're willing to deal with as far as amenities, what you really want and what you expect. That's pretty much and what you can afford. That's pretty much the boundaries of, what you're looking for. You can find an apartment that has, a rooftop pool, a workout center, security, car parking, moto parking. A total Western style apartment that has air conditioning and, more than one room. Has all the amenities. It's a refrigerator, full size refrigerator, stove, you can find all that here. You can. And you just have to gauge it yourself. You have to go look at these apartments and figure out what your price range is and then see what you're willing to deal with and then go from there. And when you look up the listings that I'm going to tell you about, you can look at what they have in the apartment and you can see what they're listed and what they offer. Most of them come fully furnished, so you're good there. A lot of them don't come with full kitchens like you're used to in the West. Khmer kitchens are usually cooking stoves, like it's almost like a Boy Scout stove with a gas cylinder that you screw into it and you cook your stuff on that. But you can get a regular Western style stove, all that stuff you can get here. You just have to pay more for it, for the apartment. So, like I said, there's anything from $25 a month, which is very much roughing it, in the Khmer style way. That's very roughing it. $25 a month all the way up to, like I said, to $1,500 a month that I've seen. You can get like a villa with 4-bedroom house with everything you've ever wanted. And like I say, the bulk of them are in between the 250 to 500 range. So, but like I said, you can find stuff that are cheaper. Like this apartment right here is $130 a month. Perfect for me. It's a studio. Came furnished. It comes with a little place to do your cooking out here and a bathroom in there. It's wonderful. It works out perfect for me. So I'm happy with the 130 apartment. I could have gotten one for $100 a month. I just kind of like this one and I just took this one. But I would suggest coming over, if you come over here to move over here, or come over here to do a visit to see what you're, wanting to deal with or wanting to do when you come over here. If you're just doing a feel it out kind of visit, I would suggest going and looking up stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, believe it or not, Southeast Asia, pretty much all of Southeast Asia works off of Facebook and Facebook Marketplace. I had a Facebook when I was living in the States, but I never used it. It was kind of dead, really. I only had it because there was a few people that I wanted to keep in touch with, and that's the only place I knew them, where they were at. So But here, they use it for everything. You can find everything you need to buy on Facebook Marketplace. So what you do is you get on your Facebook, and if you don't have a Facebook, get one. Get on there, get onto Marketplace, and type in, apartments for rent in Siem Reap, Cambodia. And you'll find different groups, you'll find listings, and in some of those listings, they're done by the owner, and other ones, they're done by a real estate agent that does rentals. So you can do it either way. You can go and see the ones that the owners are listing, or you can go talk to or you can get a hold of the real estate agent, and they might have other listings in your price range or whatever. And you can do that too. And then you can and that's a good way to do it too, because you get a broker, or not a broker, but a real estate agent. They will take you around to show you the different places, the different ones they have in their listings in your price range. So you can do it that way. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way and just hoof it around town and see a place where you like, and you look and you see if there's it looks like an apartment upstairs. Get a hold of the people downstairs and ask them if they have apartments upstairs for rent. That's another way to do it. A lot of people do it that way. You can do that depending on the place, the area of town you want to be in. A lot of people want to be in down by Pub Street, which is going to be more expensive, but a lot of people want to do that, so they go to a real estate agent. They have them take them around to those places, and if you don't find a place that's within your price range or you like or whatever, just go around and do a walk around. Look for places for rent by walking around and asking around for it. Use your Google Translate. That's how I usually do it. And a lot of people downtown, there's a lot of people down there that can speak English and can speak up for you and ask for you. Or if you don't know, you can always use Google Translate. But that's the way to do it. That's the best way to do it, is go to Facebook Marketplace and look up the listings there for apartments for rent in Siem Reap, Cambodia. And you will find everything you're looking for there. When you get here, I would suggest, staying in a hotel I stayed in a hotel for 4 days, and I really didn't even need that much time. I used 2 days just to rest and relax and get acclimated to the time. And then the next day I found an apartment right away. I had been looking on Facebook Marketplace and I just found one, and I went and looked at a couple of them and saw the places that I liked. And then I went and picked one out, and finally I picked this one. And this is where it went. Anyway, I wonder what's making that noise out there. I think it might be raining outside. Anyway, as far as finding an apartment here, it's super easy. Not only that, but when you find an apartment, most of them here are already furnished. So you don't have to worry about a bed. You don't have to worry about chairs and a table. This apartment here, it came with a brand new air conditioner, which is a lot cheaper than an old air conditioner. It came with a refrigerator, a small apartment style, it's not too small, but it's smaller than a full-size refrigerator. And it came with a refrigerator, and I didn't have to put anything. In fact, it came with bedding and sheets and everything. So now I'm going to buy extra sheets for it and all that, because I don't want to keep washing them all the time. But you get everything you need right there. I mean, they furnish it and everything you need, except for dishes and stuff. Now you could find apartments that already have dishes and stove setups and all that. It's just going to be more expensive. So the one I have here, I've got a place where I can go out right in here and cook my food. I just have to get a burner, which I'm going to get here soon. It's sort of like a Boy Scout campfire burner, not a campfire, but a camping burner with a propane cylinder that you screw into it, and you cook your food on that. I'm going to use that out here and in my little kitchen area over here. And that is also where I'm going to do a breakdown of how much it costs for food as opposed to going out to eat. So I'm going to do that couple videos about that stuff too. How much it costs for eggs and bread and stuff from the market that I'm going to be going to. So I'll pick up supplies. I'll make sure that I do a breakdown of like what I'm going to eat every single day. I found a chicken place, a place that does fresh made chicken every day. They cook it. You can buy chicken barbecued right there every single day, and it costs 5,000 real for a full, damn near a full chicken. It was like one half of a chicken. So it had a thigh, it had a breast, it had and the wing for 5,000 real, which is $1.25 for that much chicken. I bought 2 of them, it cost me $2.50. So I had plenty. That was my meal for the day, pretty much, except for breakfast. And I mean, you could get stuff cheap here. I mean, super cheap. And that was cooked already. That was cooked and prepared. Now, if you go buy a breast, a thigh, and a wing in a restaurant, or I mean, even in a place where they cook it and sell it like that in America, you're going to pay a lot more for that. But anyway, so I mean, I could go there and buy chicken every single day. Rice is cheap as hell. Bread's cheap. Everything's cheap here except for like milk and beef. Beef is expensive here. But everything else, very inexpensive. And I can eat for a lot less if I cook it all myself and buy it all from the market. So that's what I'm going to do there. But anyways, back to apartments. Apartments are the least worry for you, trust me. It is so easy to find an apartment here, it's not even funny. And you can pretty much find an apartment before you even get here. I would suggest a couple days before you get here, look up online on Facebook Marketplace, look up the listings for apartments in your range, put the filters in and do all that. Find apartments for whatever range of money you're willing to spend, and you'll get a bunch of listings. And then you could search online about, where the listings are at in town. From pretty much I base everything on the Old Market, Pub Street area. That's like the center of town, pretty much. So you'll be so far away from that, and depending on how far away you want to be from that, or if you don't want to be near that, that's fine too. I mean, but you'll be able to see the map usually where they usually put a map in there and show you what part of the city they're in. But even if they don't, you can call them up and ask them, or when you get here, you can go check it out. And like I said, you can always go to Facebook Marketplace and look up real estate agents that put listings in there, and they'll list their credentials and stuff in there, their contact information in there, and you could get a hold of them and have them take you around to different apartments that they have listed in your price range. And they'll take you around all over town, wherever. And even if they don't have one in your area that you want to be in, you could tell them, say, hey, look, when you find something in the area I want to be in, let me know. And they can tell you whether it's feasible or not, or if, that area is not going to be any lower price than this or whatever. You can always ask them that. They're very good on that stuff. And they all speak English, usually pretty good. So like I said, it's very easy to find an apartment here. Give yourself a couple days in a hotel. Don't spend a week or 2 weeks in a hotel. That's a waste of money. It really is. I spent 4 days. I probably could have spent 2 days, but I would say 4 or 5 days if you're new and you really want to do things properly. And like I said, if you need to stay longer, in a hotel, you can always go and ask for another day or two. It's not that big a deal here. It's not very busy right now. It hasn't been busy since COVID. It's been kind of down since COVID. So if you're moving here, just take as much time as you need, but don't book a whole week or 2 weeks or whatever. You probably won't need it. If you're looking for an apartment right away, you'll be able to find it right away. So that's the easiest thing in the world, is finding an apartment here. I'm just letting everybody know that right now. Let's see, another thing. And like I said, you can always find it before you even get here, and always pick the one that you want to go look at first and do all that. And you can always get the tuk-tuk drivers wherever you're at to take you to those places too. You don't have to do it with a real estate agent. You can always get a tuk-tuk driver to take you to that address. So that's about it. That's what it is getting an apartment here. It's not very hard. You don't. If you're going to be here long term, okay. If you're going to be here long term, what you need to do is you need to talk to your landlord, and they will give you. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a special. It's a special app that they have that they can put down your information, and they can give you a copy of it in your phone, so that when you go to get your long-term visa, your retirement visa, you have that in there, which you need to get your long-term visa. You need to have a place to live, okay? So that's a whole different thing, and if you need questions about that, the best thing to do is talk to the travel agent that you're going to get your, because that's how you do it. You get a visa upon arrival, you get an e-visa on arrival, or a tourist visa, but I would get an e-visa. And it's pretty much the same price, so it's not that big a deal. But you get an e-visa, and when you go to extend it to go for the 3 months, 6 month, or 1 year, which I did a year, just get it over with. You tell them, what do I need? You know, they'll tell you what you need, and if you'll need to get this document from your landlord so that they can put that into your paperwork to get your long-term visa, because they need to know that you have a place to live while you're here. Anyway, so that's another totally different thing, but it doesn't have to be done right away, because you're going to have at least 30 days on your e-visa to start off with. So you get a 30-day e-visa. You have, I would do it within 2 or 3 weeks. You don't want to wait too long, because you want to get it in there early, because because of paper backup. You don't want to be in the, in the red zone of your visa expiring. You want to get that done and taken care of way before it expires, because if it expires while the paperwork's going through, you might get fined. So you don't want to do that. But anyway, that's a totally different subject right there. But anyway, as far as getting an apartment in Siem Reap, it's very easy. Download Facebook if you don't have it. Go to Facebook Marketplace, look up apartments for rent in Siem Reap, Cambodia, and then go from there. And you can go to the groups or set your filters and do whatever you want to do. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments section, and I'll be happy to answer them. Anyway, guys, take care. If I can help out with more information, let me know, and I will give you that information. Take care now. Oh, by the way, somebody also asked me to do an itemized breakdown of eating out as opposed to cooking in. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that assessment. I'm going to do that rundown when I get I can't do it this month because I have to pay for my motorbike. My moto is up on the 18th, and I got to pay $220 to renew that for 3 more months. And then I've also got rent on the 17th, which is another $130. So this month I don't want to go out and blow a bunch of money on supplies just yet. I'll do that next month. And then when I do that, I'm going to get a burner, I'm going to get a rice cooker, I'm going to get some utensils and a wok or a pan or whatever to cook my stuff in, and then go out and get all the stuff that I want to cook and put it in my refrigerator, and buy my bottled water and the whole 9 yards. And I'll break it all down for you when I do all that next month. But this month I have some stuff to pay out, and I'm going to keep it simple this month. I don't want to go and spend a bunch of extra money. Anyway, take care, everybody. If you have any more questions, like I said, just put them in the comments section and I will answer them. All of you have a great day and take care. Bye now.